Hi guys, it's Denise. I'm back with another lesson in how to do paracord bracelets and stuff. And first of all, I want to apologize for missing last week's lesson in case for those of you that may be following me. Life just gets in the way. I've got 2 jobs, and you know what? I was just tired, so it was just one of those weekends. So anyway, today we're going to be working on the Millipede or the zipper. And last week I had made just this one here to show you. And I decided to see what it would look like if I put some kind of trim around it. And that's kind of sort of how it came out. I call it a Reese's Pieces, but anyways, this is similar to what your work is going to look like when you're done doing this project. So, all right. First of all, the supplies you're going to need for this project, I'm using a 5/8 inch clasp. There. You're going to need yes, and I need to talk about this for a second. I broke down. I enjoyed using my fake little loom board so much doing bracelets that I decided to purchase an actual jig, and it's quite interesting. It does make things a lot easier, especially if you want to do mass projects and things like that. So I have to I can't remember who I ordered this from, but I'm very proud of it. I did have one little problem where I had to try to jerry rig and replace one clasp here, which is the 1/2 inch. It wasn't, this part wasn't staying in it, so that's why that looks a little funny. But other than that, this has been a dream. I also got some these called fids, where you would put and melt the ends of your cord if you would have to do needlework type. And you just melt that and stick it in the end. And I'm still learning how to do that at a quick pace, but yeah, you don't have to have those. You can, of course, use scissors or anything sharp, and you'll see why at the end. The other thing you'll need is a lighter to melt your cord, and scissors. And as usual, I'm doing a 7-inch bracelet, so I have cut, because I'm doing this process a little bit different now that I'm using a jig. I've pre-cut 7 feet, and then I added another foot, so I've actually got 8 feet, and the 8th foot is just enough room to cover the size of my wrist, and then included on that same string will be the design, enough room for the design of the bracelet. So okay, once you have all your items together, we'll go ahead and get started. And first of all, you want to put your clasp on. Today I'm using the 5/8 inch clasp. So we'll go ahead and hook that end in there. Put the other end there, and I'm going to start on this end. Again, I enjoy using several different colors, so for this project I've chosen 2 colors, the red and then I'm not sure how you want to call this, but I'll call it a snakeskin yellow. These really give, this type of design on the cords really give a nice effect to the bracelets. For this end, I've come up to the middle where I singe these 2 colors together. And of course you would have a difficult time getting where you singed it right here, getting it through the clasp here. Make sure I'm on target, yes. Okay. So you want to take one side or the other. I'm going to take this side since my red's a little bit more movable. And we are going to go into the top of this clasp. So shove that on in there. And you might need a little help. There we go. Okay, And yes, you will start out in the middle of the length of your cord. This cord is actually, I didn't tell you, I cut this down. I gave it 4 feet of red and 4 feet of the snake skin yellow to come up with my 8 feet. So anyway, you're going to come into the top and go down with your first loop here, and take your remaining cord, push it through, and pull that on through, thus creating your first loop here, and try to adjust it to where you cinched it isn't showing. So you can see I brought it up here, there. So you'll do that as best you can. Whoops, I moved it. There we go. Okay, with your remainder end, you're going to take and go underneath the adjacent clip and up through, like so. And I've also pre-melted and shaped these to help get through things and loops easier, and clasp, and to do the fid. So generally you could have problems if you don't shape the end and melt it into how you need it. And actually this one is giving me a hard time, so we need to melt that a little bit more and make it flat so I can get it through the clasp. Ow, it's a little hot. See if that helps. Okay, this is not working out. There we go. Try to make sure you keep your strings not twisted or anything. Okay, first step we're going to do is do the traditional Cobra stitch, just to begin everything. So go ahead and take, it doesn't matter which side, I just prefer using the right. So take the right, start with the right side, cross over your 2 strings there, take your opposite string, go over the top of the first one, underneath and up through, and pull. Okay, now that we got this started, we're going to go ahead and take your left hand string here, and instead of doing the traditional where you're going over and folding this one over like and up through like the traditional Cobra, we're just going to use 1 string at a time. These are called half hitches, I believe. So okay, here we go. So you're just going to take your left string, come over your other 2 strings, using same string, come underneath, pull that through your loop, and give it pull it a little bit tight there. Okay, that's your first one. Now you're going to come to your other string and do the same thing. We're just using 1 string at a time on this, over both strings, under and up through, and tighten that. And at this point, that's when I always tighten the one above, because there's something secure for it to hold. So, which was this last loop I created. Okay, so take your left, go over the top 2 strings, underneath, up through, and tighten. Go to your other string, do the same process, underneath, up through, and tighten. You know, every time I do one of these bracelets, it always brings a name to mind of what I would call that bracelet. And for this one, it makes me think of juicy fruit for some reason. I don't know, like a cinnamon juicy fruit. Okay. do this one. I don't know, you tell me. Whatever you come up with, let me know what you decide to name your bracelet. Like this one that I showed you, this would be like Blueberry Hubba Bubba. What can I say? I'm a dork. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep on going till I get to the end, and you guys keep on going till you get to the end. If you have any questions or something's not working out right, feel free to reverse the video and watch the part you missed again, and we'll catch back up in just a sec.